Hello and welcome to Joanne's Crafting Inspirations. I am a Stampin' Up! Independent demonstrator here in Newfoundland, Canada. Each Monday I will be demonstrating my latest paper crafting creations using Stampin' Up! Products. I love Stampin' Up! Products because I love how their paper, their cardstock, their ink pads all coordinate with each other. It takes the guesswork out of creating your lovely creations. I also love the eye quality of their products. I am still using ink pads that are over 5 years old and they're still quite juicy. Now, let me adjust my camera and I'll start demonstrating. So tonight's card, or my creation, is a card. It's a cute little baby card. It could be used for a baby shower, for the mama-to-be if they know if they're having a little girl. I think it's quite simple and elegant. And here's what the inside looks like. So let's begin. I'll first show you the stamp sets. Tonight's card is created using the Wildly Happy stamp set, and I used the elephant. I just love elephants. Both the fox, the bunny, and the panda bear are quite cute. You can use any of these of your choice, but tonight I'm going to use the elephant. And I'm also using the Swirly Frames Stampin' Up! Set. This is a polymer stamp set. You'll see the difference in between the two. This is a cling stamp. You'll see the difference in the two now shortly. This is quite cute because it can add elements to any card that you design by putting little frames around stuff. So I'm just going to move these out of the way. The Wildly Happy stamp set, if you go to order it, the item number is 149408, and it's found in the annual catalog. And on page 101, and it's $29, and you get everything in this set. And the Swirly Frames order number is 146519, and this one is found in the same catalog on page 117, and it's $27. And both sets have 9 pieces, so it has 9 different stamps into it. So tonight's card, I'm going to be using Smoky Slate, which coordinates with the Smoky Slate stamp set. And I'm going to be using Petal Pink and a piece of scrap paper of Whisper White. Now, the Smoky Slate is cut at 5.5 by 8.5 and scored at 4 1/4. This is the basic for any card. And our card is going to stand up this way tonight. The Petal Pink is cut at 3 inches by 5.5 because it's going straight across the card. And like I said, this is just a piece of scrap paper that we're going to stamp our elephant on and our inside verse. So what I'm going to do first, I'm just going to take our Petal Pink and I'm going to ink up our Swirly Frame circle frame. I probably repeated that twice. So I'm just going to use our classic ink pad. And where this is a bigger stamp, I'm just going to stamp downwards or ink it up downwards. If it was a smaller one, I would just leave my ink pad on my paper and stamp downwards, which I will be doing a little bit later. So now that's inked up enough. I'm just going to position this over to the left. If you want to do it to the right, you can certainly do it to the right. So I'm just going to push down, straight down, and I'm going to push around the edges. And I'm going to come straight up with my ink block. So like so. So I'm just going to lay that one aside. And then what I'm going to do next is I'm going to put this Sweetest Baby stamp, which is this one right here. Everything is done in our Smoky Slate ink. So where this is a smaller one, I'm just going to turn my ink pad and dab a few times. And I'm going to put it in the middle to the right. Like so. So you don't have to push down hard, just lay it down, leave it there for a second or so, and move onwards. So then what I'm going to do here now, I'm going to take our elephant and baby elephant, the mama one, and I'm going to ink this one up by tapping. And I'm going to keep it over to the left ear a little bit, but I want to leave enough because we're going to punch it out with our circle punch. So I'm just going to push down. I'm not going to jiggle it, and come straight up. And then I'm going to take our 2 1/4 punch. I'm going to open it up, insert my paper, and punch. So there's enough room on that, I believe, for our sentiment. So I'm just going to put the punch aside. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this over, and I'm going to use Stampin' Up's Dimensionals. These are the mini dimensionals. You can get a larger one as well. So I'm just going to put 4 of these on the back. And what these do, they kind of pop up your sentiment or your picture up a little difference on your card. So I'm going to get our Take Your Pick tool. And these are not sticky right now because they still got wax paper onto it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the wax paper. And now they're all sticky. And I'm going to put this one in the middle of our frame. And you can see how it's just risen just a little bit. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it just puts a little dimension onto the card. So what we're going to do now is we're going to tape our Petal Pink paper onto our cardstock, our card base. So I'm just going to open our snail adhesive, and 2 strips is plenty. And then I'm going to center this in the middle, like so. And you just want to burnish it there just so that the tape will stick. And then I'm going to take, with the swirly frames, there was some designer, it's not a frame, it's like a line. So I'm going to ink that up with our Smoky Slate. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to position it on the top and the bottom. So I'm going to take our grid paper and use that as a centering tool. So I'm just going to lay down and push up. And if it's not quite center, if you don't have grid paper, that's fine. Each card is unique. And the person, I'm sure the person that you'll give this to would really love this card, knowing that it was made by you. So lift it up. Our card is just about done. So I'm just going to get some pearls, which Stampin' Up, as well as, like I said in the beginning of my introduction, Stampin' Up as paper and ink pads and designer series paper that all coordinates. And they do have embellishments that coordinate and matches up to the colors as well. So I'm just going to take 4 of these pearls and position them next to our line. Sometimes they're a little bit hard, finicky to get onto the pick. But there we go. So now for our last and final step, I'm going to see if this one is big enough. So I'm going to take our sentiment, and it's so tiny, so small, so loved by all. So I'm going to ink that up, and I'm going to put it in the center of our scrap paper. Push down and push up. So now, this is a cling set. The reason why it clings is that it sticks to the acrylic block. But if you push down really hard, you'll get a little line like this. So no need to trash that out. I'm just going to flip it over and re-stamp it again. And this time not pressing so hard. So I'm going to get our pretty label punch, and I'm going to insert that. Paper is not quite big enough, but I'm going to see if it'll work. Just to save time. And then I'm just going to take a piece of snail, and I'm going to center it in the back. So, there we go. Our card is done. Now, you can certainly change this up. If you know that the individual is having a boy, you can put a blue. I did this card with our seafoam spray, and I used ribbon in behind. And that. So, this one. And if the individual doesn't know what they're having, you can certainly use yellow or green as a unisex card. So this is our card for tonight. Come back again next Monday night, and I'll have another, I believe I'll be doing another card Monday night, and I don't have that here with me. Yes, I do. I'll just showcase it really quickly. This one is a little bit more detailed than the one tonight, but it's still quite beautiful. So it's a Butterfly Wishes birthday card. And I don't know if the camera's picking up on the sparkle on here. And it opens up like this. So this is next Monday night's card. And the project after that for the 3rd or the 10th of February, sorry. Is going to be a Valentine's envelope treat little bag. So stay tuned for that. And if you like my page or share it, please do so. I appreciate it much in advance. And you can visit my website at https://Joanne with a JOANN Johnson at stampinup.net. Or you can follow me on Facebook by putting in Joanne's Crafting Inspirations. Thank you, and have a good night, and hope to see you on Monday.